Welcome to the Teacher Incentive Allotments webinar on Teacher Observations for TIA, Guidance for Small Districts. If you haven't viewed the General Teacher Observations webinar, we recommend that you do so before watching this webinar. You can find it in the resource section of our website at tiatexas.org. This webinar will address challenges related to teacher observations and TIA facing small districts as well as potential solutions. This webinar has two objectives. The first is identify the cornerstones of a highly calibrated teacher observation system. The second is identify challenges facing single appraiser districts in terms of observation calibration as well as potential solutions. This flowchart represents the ideal flow of the school year with regards to teacher observations for TIA. This comes from our original webinar on teacher observations for TIA. The year starts in the summer with analysis of observation data, creating a strategic plan to address problem areas in the data, and then training, certifying, and calibrating appraisers. The middle of the year is a cycle in which appraisers observe teachers, then leaders analyze the data for skew and correlation, and then retrain and develop appraisers to increase their rating accuracy. The year ends with more data analysis to determine how to improve observation practices the next year. It's clear that this ideal will be hard for single appraiser districts to achieve. For example, with potentially no district leader to help develop the appraiser's rating accuracy, how can the appraiser on their own ensure that they are staying closely aligned to the rubric? If this is the ideal state, what is truly non-negotiable for small districts with regards to teacher observation? In looking at the TIA application rubric, there are 6 cornerstones that are necessary for a highly calibrated observation system. The first is the district must certify its appraiser at least every 3 years. The second is the district must calibrate appraisers to the rubric at least annually. Third, the district should observe each teacher multiple times, both long and short observations. Fourth, the district should improve rating accuracy throughout the year with calibration activities. Fifth, the district should review observation data for skew and lack of correlation regularly. And finally, the district should respond to trends in the data in order to increase appraiser accuracy. Take a look at a sample teacher observation plan. In August, the district's appraiser attends T-test training. This appraiser attends T-test training annually. He or she also creates a schedule to observe each teacher one time. In October, after assessments, the appraiser conducts a thorough analysis of academic data. In January, the appraiser conducts a school walkthrough to find strengths and areas of opportunities in instruction across the school. In March, the appraiser analyzes more academic data. And in May, the appraiser conducts end-of-year conferences. Let's take a look at which cornerstones are present in this plan and which are missing. Pause this video and determine for yourself which of the 6 cornerstones are present. In this district, the appraiser is being recertified annually. Because T-test certification requires a calibration component, this means the appraiser is also recalibrating to the rubric at the beginning of each year. The rest of the cornerstones are not present in this plan. The appraiser is planning to observe each teacher only one time, and there are no procedures in place with the purpose of improving the rater's accuracy. While the appraiser analyzes data regularly, there is no mention of analyzing observation data, only academic data. There are many very real challenges facing small districts with regards to teacher observation calibration. During this section, we'll discuss common challenges as well as potential solutions. This is a list of the most common challenges facing small districts with regards to teacher observation calibration. We'll address each of these challenges one by one. The first challenge is that only one appraiser means there's no one to calibrate with. The second is the appraiser may lack the content knowledge to rate all subjects from pre-K to 12th grade. The third is a single appraiser on their own may not have enough perspective to know whether he or she is inflating scores. The fourth is the appraiser may have close or familial relationships with teachers on campus, which could lead to biased ratings. The fifth is the appraiser might be doing everything from data analysis and IT support to driving the school bus. so his or her capacity to add additional tasks related to teacher observation is limited. 6, the appraiser may worry that teacher recruitment or retention may be negatively impacted by reducing observation score inflation. And finally, number 7, there's no obvious person for the appraiser to thought partner with in order to find strategic solutions to teacher observation challenges. Let's start with this first and most common challenge. Only one appraiser means there's no one to calibrate with. Our biggest piece of guidance to address this challenge is to enlist one or more calibration partners. This could be a highly effective teacher on campus, a local retired principal, an ESC member, a TA provider, a principal appraiser, or perhaps even partnering with a neighboring district. The goal here is to find someone who is trained to use t-tests or your district's rubric who can be another set of eyes on teachers' instruction. The third challenge is the appraiser may lack the content knowledge to accurately rate all subjects from pre-K to 12th grade. For example, if the principal taught second grade reading for 20 years and then became a principal, it may be more challenging but not impossible to accurately rate a high school physics teacher. Both of these potential solutions are grounded in the appraiser building their content knowledge. An appraiser could use the NIET portal to practice with an unfamiliar content, grade level, or even t-test domain. Perhaps they're unfamiliar with PE. They could watch a video of PE on the NIET portal, rate the teacher on t-tests, and compare their ratings and evidence with the ratings and evidence provided on the portal. The second piece of guidance to help the appraiser build their content knowledge is completing pre-work before an observation of an unfamiliar content or grade level. This could include the pre-conference in which the teacher shares the goals of the lesson as well as context about what students have already learned. It should include reviewing the teacher's lesson plan and analyzing the TEKS which the lesson is aligned to. And finally, perhaps most importantly, is leaning on the teacher's expertise. It is okay to ask a teacher to remind you how to, for example, solve an algebra problem so you are prepared to give better feedback. The third challenge is that a single appraiser on their own may not have enough perspective to know whether he or she is inflating scores. Here we recommend using the statewide performance standards as a barometer. These standards came from trends across the state, so rating significantly higher or significantly lower than these trends could indicate a problem. In other words, if the appraiser is rating far more or far fewer than 5% of teachers at 4.5 or higher, this could indicate a problem. Or if the appraiser is rating far more or fewer than 20% of teachers at 3.9 or 33% of teachers at 3.7 or higher. The second potential solution to this challenge is the optional free video submission for data validation through our partner Swivel. This is an optional additional data validation check that's available to all districts that will not hurt them and could potentially help them. The fourth potential challenge is that the appraiser may have close or familial relationships with teachers on campus, which could lead to biased ratings. First, it is important that the district identify which teachers are at risk of receiving inaccurate scores because of close relationships. Then, we recommend having someone besides the district's appraiser conduct a scored observation of those teachers. That person would need to be trained and certified in the district's rubric and approved by the school board. Additionally, we recommend providing objective evidence for every rating given. While this is a best practice for all teachers, it is especially important where bias could exist. Finally, again, districts have the opportunity to submit videos through Swivel, which can serve almost like a second appraiser in the data validation process. The fifth challenge is the appraiser may be doing everything from data analysis and IT support to driving the school bus, so his or her capacity to add additional tasks related to teacher observation may be limited. There are 4 potential solutions for districts to consider. The first is to train and certify one or more high-performing teachers to conduct scored observations. This is a great option to consider as it can increase the appraiser's capacity and provide leadership opportunities for teachers who want to remain in the classroom. The second idea is to video record lessons to score later. We also recommend differentiating the number and length of teacher observations by teacher need. And finally, a potential solution could be to train a high-performing teacher or staff member to conduct unscored observations and coach teachers. This may be a good solution for an appraiser who does not want others to conduct scored observations, but does want to give leadership opportunities to teachers in the school and increase his or her own capacity. The sixth challenge is that the appraiser may worry that teacher recruitment or retention will be negatively impacted by reducing observation score inflation. The biggest piece of guidance around this challenge is to invest in strong teacher stakeholder engagement in the design of the teacher observation component of your local designation system. If teachers are well informed from the beginning and have the opportunity to be part of building the system, they are more likely to be bought into the changes happening around teacher evaluation. We also recommend coming together as a staff to answer the question, how do we do accurate teacher evaluation when our roots run deep? There's no easy answer to this, but talking openly about the challenge is likely to yield more creative ideas and stronger buy-in across the school. Finally, we recommend building school-wide expertise on the rubric. This looks like training teachers on how to collect evidence and score using the rubric. It could also include grade level or vertical content teams using videos to align on strong teaching. Or teachers could watch and score videos of themselves teaching. If everyone in the school is on the same page about exactly what a 3 or a 4, for example, looks like on a particular dimension, it will be easier to shift how the rubric is being used. While this is arguably one of the most difficult challenges to navigate, we hope these potential solutions are a starting place for conversations in your district about shifting the culture of evaluation. In the resources section of our website, you can find a single appraiser district sample observation calibration plan. This plan is an example of how a district with one appraiser might ensure they are including all 6 cornerstones of a highly calibrated observation system. This plan is an aspirational state and generally far above and beyond what districts are required to do. The intention of this document is to serve as a resource for districts to adapt and pull best practices from to meet their needs. We recognize that these challenges and potential solutions do not capture all of the challenges facing small districts and certainly do not include all of the potential solutions that districts might implement to navigate these challenges. But we do hope that this starts a conversation in your district about how to improve teacher observation calibration. If you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at tia@tea.texas.gov or on our website at www.tiatexas.org.